Okay, this is lesson 1 for subject-verb agreement, agreement and number. We're going to check the homework reinforcement. It says to write the correct form of the verb in the following sentence on the line provided. So we need to identify our subject so we can identify if our verb is agreeing with it. Number 1, the captain boarded the ship early this evening. Here my subject is captain. Captain is singular, so because it's singular, it does not end in S. My verb, board, needs to end in S for it to agree. So the answer number 1 is boards. Number 2, the musicians practice diligently. Musicians is my subject. It ends in S, it's plural, so because it ends in S, I do not need an S on my verb practice. So this one is correct. Number 3, usually the plumber arrives at the work site before the carpenter. Plumber is my subject. It is singular, it does not end in S. Arrive is my verb, so when my subject doesn't end in S, my verb needs to. So they agree. Number 4, the French teacher likes browsing through bookstores. Here, teacher is my subject. Teacher is singular, so since teacher does not end in S, my verb needs to end in S, and here it does. So likes is correct. And then number 5, Thomas had been working on that project for about an hour. Thomas is my subject. Thomas is singular, so because Thomas is singular, my verb should end in S. Singular verbs end in S. So I'm going to change have to has. Write down how many you got correct and circle if you do or don't understand the topic. And then we're going to check lesson number 2 on compound subjects. This is homework reinforcement for lesson number 2. It says to circle the correct form of the verb in the following sentence. Remember, when my subject is joined with and, I treat it as plural unless the two things being joined with and are one thing, like a title. It acts as a singular unit. So the Wongs and Serlings, this is joined with and. I'm going to circle my conjunction, my fanboy that's joining these together. So when I'm joining together my subject with and, I treat it like it's plural, so I'm going to choose are as the correct verb choice. Number 2, here I'm joining the subjects together with nor. When I join subjects together with or nor, I have to look at the subject that's closest to the verb to decide. Coaches is plural, so since coaches is plural, I'm going to choose the plural verb. Plural verbs don't end in S. Number 3, my mother and father agree on things that matter. Here and is joining those together, so that makes this a plural subject. So if it's plural, I need a plural verb. So my plural verbs don't end in S. So agree is the best choice. Number 4, neither Teresa nor her brothers talk or talks very much. Nor is the conjunction joining them together. So when nor joins my subjects together, I have to look at the one that's closest to the verb. Brothers is what's closest to the verb, so brothers is plural, so I choose the plural verb here, talk. Plural verbs don't end in S. Number 5, and is what's joining together my subjects, so this is a plural subject, so I needed to pick the plural verb. Plural verbs don't end in S, so I choose need. And then finally on number 6, or is joining together those subjects, so I look at the one that's closest to the verb. So money is singular, so I choose is the singular verb. Please write down if you how many you got correct, and if you do or don't understand. And then let's check lesson number 3. For lesson number 3, for the homework reinforcement, it says to circle the correct verb in these following sentences, thinking about indefinite pronouns. Remember, we learned in our pronoun unit that indefinite pronouns are either always singular, always plural, or sometimes are singular or sometimes in plural. So we can use this chart to help us pick the correct verb that agrees with the indefinite subject. So in number 1, both is my indefinite subject. Both is always plural, so that's why were is the verb choice in number 1. Number 2, none is the indefinite subject. None can be singular or plural, so I have to look at the prep phrase that follows it. So I look at cookies. Cookies is plural, so were is the plural verb choice. Number 3, a few of the council members was or were unwilling to go on record. Few is the indefinite pronoun here, that's the subject. Few is always plural, so I choose the plural verb were. Number 4, Any is my indefinite pronoun that I'm going to have to make agree with my verb. Any can sometimes be singular and sometimes be plural, so I have to look at the prep phrase that follows it. So I look at athletes. Athletes is plural, so were is the correct choice. Number 5. One is the indefinite pronoun that needs to agree with the verb. One is always singular, so I choose the singular verb. Singular verbs end in S, so has is the right choice. And then number 6, several. Authors here. Authors is actually going to be my subject. Several here is describing how many authors. Authors is my subject. Authors is plural, so have is the correct choice to complete this sentence. Write down how many you got right, and if you do or you don't understand.